From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Wednesday morning. Right now you're taking a live look at Kennewick. This view coming courtesy of the First Alert Weather app. You can download it for free in the App Store or on Google Play. Seeing some light haze up in the skies for this morning, but also plenty of sunshine that's filtering through. Air quality not being reduced in any significant way. This morning temperatures in the 50s and 60s for the valleys, basin, and foothills. We're in the 50s up in the Cascades and 50s in the Blues. Your day planner forecast for today for our lower elevations, 60s and 70s as soon as 8 this morning. We're going to be in the low to mid 80s at the peak of daytime heating, and most of us should end up in the 90s at I think I said low to mid 80s around lunchtime, but 80s and 90s at the peak of daytime heating. Pretty seasonal stuff for today and tomorrow and Friday. We'll cool it off though for Saturday and Sunday. Excellent weather for the water follies, but then heating it back up into next week. And what's going to happen around the same time is that we'll have these little shower and thunderstorm chances for Monday and Tuesday for the mountains and especially for the Kittitas Valley. So I'll talk about all this, but especially the hottish weather. Well, it's going to be hot, but getting hotter for tomorrow. So that's going to be coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, a shooting at a city park now has detectives searching for answers and the shooter. Coming up, we have how you can help.
Plus, big changes are coming to a popular Richland shopping center. Why new cameras are going up in the parking lot this week.
And it's 20 miles of parks and trails, but not everyone feels safe on Yakima's Greenway. What police and city leaders are doing about it, it's all coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
I'm Jade Elliott. It is Wednesday, July 23rd, and we start with some big news coming out of Yakima this morning.
A crime alert. We're learning that one man is dead after a shooting at a park.
Yeah, now Yakima police are asking for your help as they search for the shooter in this. It all happened just last night at Miller Park. Officers found a 35-year-old man with a gunshot wound. It was yesterday evening about 6:25 when they got there, and despite life-saving efforts by first responders, unfortunately, that man didn't survive.
Authorities are looking to the public for help and are asking anybody with information to come forward and call detectives, and you can call that number on your screen.
And if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can also leave an anonymous tip with Crime Stoppers of Yakima County. And staying in Yakima, when it comes to the Yakima Greenway, some people say that the path is perfectly safe. They feel great using it and taking their families there, but others don't feel the same. Apple Valley News Now's Natalie Keller tells us what residents and officials are saying about the Greenway.
The 20 miles of paths and parks that run along the Yakima River have been a city staple for 40 years. But with what some see as an uptick of homeless individuals and fires along the Yakima Greenway, they have some reservations about it. This Yakima resident says she still comes to the path and brings her kids, but she wouldn't necessarily come here late at night.
The Greenway at its base is a really great trail system, and it unfortunately gets a bad reputation and a lot of traffic that sometimes makes it feel a little less than family friendly.
The Yakima Police Department tells me that it sees the issue a little bit differently. They tell me that they see the Greenway as a pretty safe area of the city.
I think the number one thing is messaging, is not letting a message that's just simply untrue that the Greenway is unsafe exist. We're out here to prove otherwise.
Janice says that in recent years, the department has been reinvesting its resources into patrolling the Greenway on bikes. According to the department, on a 23-mile ride last week, multiple people were arrested for alleged crimes, including open-air drug use.
Just like anywhere else in the world, things can happen, but be vigilant, be safe.
Connor Hopkins, the executive director of the Greenway Foundation, says that while there's been an uptick of fires in the area over the last decade, he thinks it's safe for the community.
And the more our community stands up as a whole, and that's our city leaders, our county leaders, people when they vote, volunteers, if everyone stands up and says that we value green space, we value recreation, when we value quality of life in our community, I think we're going to see a much more positive turn.
Hopkins also says he encourages people who are critical of the Greenway to get involved by providing feedback to the foundation and city officials. From Yakima, Natalie Keller, Apple Valley News Now.
Now, Officer Janice also encourages people who feel that the path is unsafe to check it out for themselves, maybe try visiting it in a group.
Turning to Richland now, the city is installing mobile security cameras in 3 different locations, and this is to help deter some crime.
These cameras are actually going to be set up later this week. We're told they're going up in the Uptown Shopping Center parking lot, as well as at Claybell and Badger Mountain community parks.
The cameras are being installed to help prevent theft, street racing, and illegal dumping. One business owner in the Uptown Shopping Center believes the cameras will help keep that area safe.
I like it. I think it's smart of the city, and it's good for the community and the shoppers, the public, the business owners that are always down here. I think it's a really wise decision to add more protection and security for all of us.
These security cameras are mobile, and the city says they could move them around in the future as well, which is great for the city. If there is an area where they feel maybe they are seeing some of those things they're trying to detour, they can move those cameras to that area.
And they'll be up for, or the footage will be available for 30 days, and people in the public can even request it.
They can make that public request.
If you have a crime or something, you want to see who was around the area, something like that, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, you can do with that.
And some of those places, like Claybell Park, for example, it's in a very, is, you know, to be considered a nice, safe neighborhood, but we know that crime has happened in that park before. Just, you know, a couple months ago, there was a big fight and a shooting there. So things like
great
this
resource
can definitely help. Yeah. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. A chilling case nearing the end. Brian Kohberger expected to spend the rest of his life behind bars after admitting to the brutal murders of 4 Idaho college students. The emotional day ahead as he is set for sentencing today.
But first, our Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert will have your first alert weather forecast. Keep it here. Good Morning Northwest. We'll be right back.
You get in a car wreck and call the insurance company and get nowhere. Stop wasting your time. Just make one more call to 853-2222. They can't ignore my demands to pay you all the money you deserve.
Call 853-2222.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford crew.
It's summer event time.
Best deals of the year.
My favorite season of the year.
Why? Is it the flowers, honeybees?
Mud. See, Bronco and Bronco Sport make every adventure more epic.
Because they come with GOAT modes. Goes over any type of terrain. Like
mud.
They sure do like mud.
Lease a 2025 Bronco Sport Big Bend 4x4 for $299 a month for 36 months. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Just like you, I'm working towards buying my first home.
I'm saving for my children's future.
Like you, I want financial tools that make my life easier.
At Hapo, we're more than employees. We're people just like you, and we understand what really matters.
Just like you,
we're planning for our future.
And I care about making a difference.
We're here to help you navigate life's milestones, big and small, because we're just like you. Join us at Hapo today.
Right now at US Cellular, you can get 4 free phones plus 4 lines for $90.
Hey, we're tired of having the wool pulled over our eyes with these hidden requirements. What aren't we seeing?
Yeah. Do we get our choice of free phones?
Yep, you get the latest phones.
I bet we have to trade in our old phones, though.
Nope, sure don't.
Wow.
High five. Almost. Higher. Yes. Nope.
Get 4 phones plus 4 lines for $90 with no trade-in. And we'll pay off your current contract when you switch. US Cellular, built for us.
Have you heard about refractive lens exchange? K2 Vision RLE means no glasses, no contacts, and no readers permanently. And you'll never develop a cataract.
No glasses or readers. K2 Vision RLE.
It is Operation Best Friend every Wednesday as we feature lovable pets from area shelters all looking for their forever homes. Operation Best Friend from Christine Connolly, As You Wish Real Estate Services, and the Manthai Group Cross Country Mortgage.
You get in a car wreck and call the insurance company and get nowhere. Stop wasting your time. Just make one more call to 853-2222. They can't ignore my demands to pay you all the money you deserve.
Call 853-2222.
This newscast is sponsored by Shriners Children's Spokane. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of this morning's temperatures. We start off in Kittitas County, low 50s for Cle Elum and Ellensburg, but low 60s down towards Vantage. In the Yakima Valley, 50s and 60s. In fact, most of us in the mid to upper 50s. Then in the lower Columbia Basin, it's the same spread of temperatures, 56 in the Tri-Cities and 60 degrees in Benton City. Then for the Blue Foothills, seeing the same mixture, and 40s and 50s in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. Here is your coat cast for today for the Tri-Cities. Maybe just a light jacket necessary for right now, but after 8 a.m. it's going to be all t-shirt weather into the mid-80s as soon as lunchtime, and then mid-90s at the peak of daytime heating. So for today, for our lower elevations, you can just bank on low to mid-90s. We're going to be seasonal for this time of the year. Lots of sunshine across the map. Some of it could be filtered by some very light haze. Let's go ahead and put this into motion with Futurecast upper level wildfire smoke. Where you see this gray color, that indicates light upper level wildfire smoke. So there's going to be a lot of that on the map for today. Not expecting any big time reductions to air quality, but this is just going to kind of linger for today. But for tomorrow, winds picking up, and that means that a lot of this on the back edge is going to start to clear out. And so again, we're not anticipating big reductions in air quality, but the little reductions that we do have should start to improve as the winds pick up. But there's a caveat to that. As the winds pick up, vegetation going to be critically dry. Could get a little bit dicey when it comes to fire weather. So I'll tell you how hot it's going to be for tomorrow and how strong some of the wind gusts could be. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. 10 minutes after 6 now, taking a look at national headlines that actually hit very close to home. Bryan Kohberger expected to be sentenced to life in prison 4 times over today.
The former criminology student pleaded guilty earlier this month, avoiding the death penalty for the 2022 killings of the 4 University of Idaho students.
So the victims' families are preparing to face him in court today. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has more.
Bryan Kohberger is expected to be sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences today after admitting to killing 4 University of Idaho students at this off-campus house in 2022. As he awaits his fate, new video shows his family after visiting him in jail. And overnight, a line was already forming outside the Ada County Courthouse. Kohberger, a former PhD criminology student, pleaded guilty to the murders earlier this month, taking the death penalty off the table.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
While some families say the deal brought them closure, others opposed it, including the family of Kaylee Gonzalez, who accused prosecutors of making a deal with the devil. Kohberger's motive remains a mystery. The victims' families will get the chance to address Kohberger in court today.
We've gone all this time not knowing the details, and we really want those details.
Kohberger will get the chance to speak today, but it's not required.
The judge can compel Kohberger to admit his guilt. He also can ask him additional questions if the judge feels as though it's warranted. Now, we know that the family is looking for a lot of answers, such as motive and other things. Those are not typically things that they will find out at this type of hearing.
Once he's sentenced, he'll likely be sent to this Idaho prison, which can hold 535 of the most dangerous and volatile inmates. Some spend 23 hours per day in a cell. Prison officials say inmates serving life sentences are often the easiest to manage because they know the prison is and always will be their home.
And now the victims' 2 roommates who survived may also speak at sentencing today. We know the family of Ethan Chapin have said that they won't be speaking.
And you can tune into Apple Valley News Now at 5 and 6 tonight, also on our website for continuing coverage on this case.
And we do expect his sentencing hearing and trial this morning to begin at about 8 o'clock our time. We'll keep you updated.
And keep it here, because coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, Josh Colberth will be back with your full First Alert weather forecast. That'll be right after the break in just a few minutes.
Welcome to Nob Hill Casino, your premier gaming destination. Experience the thrill of a Vegas-style casino featuring the friendliest dealers in town. Join our Players Club and unlock exclusive rewards every time you play. Challenge your skills at our 16-lane bowling alley. Unwind with a drink at our cozy bar, or enjoy breakfast, lunch, or dinner at the Last Frontier. The ultimate entertainment experience has something for everyone. Nob Hill Casino, where locals come to win.
When you walk into one of Walker's Furniture's 13 locations in Washington, Oregon, and Idaho, one of the first things you'll see is the largest selection of quality living room furniture and stylish bedroom furniture on the West Coast. From the rich looks of Leather Motion to modern and contemporary designs, these family-owned stores have provided our communities and neighbors great furniture at great prices.
And remember, Walker's is where
quality just costs less.
At Smoke City for Less, we understand every smoker is unique. Explore our over 1,500 vape flavors and specialty curated selection of tobacco products. Your perfect flavor and blend awaits at any of Smoke City for Less 6 locations. Save your pennies. Smoke City for Less has the lowest prices. Find the best vape mods, batteries, kratom, and specialty products too. Our knowledgeable staff is always on hand to provide personalized recommendations. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
First, at Shriners Children's, the world's most advanced scoliosis procedures are born here. In fact, we deliver access to the world's best doctors for nearly every pediatric orthopedic condition. We're delivering care without compromise is our promise. And kids can just be kids. Because being first always starts with empowering the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
Wendy Redman is a leader in broadcast news. She breaks big stories, produces special reports that make a difference, and brings the news home each evening.
It's sometimes dramatic, but always informative.
Wendy Redman, Austin Reed, Stacey Lee, Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
Next live.
Famous around the world.
From Marvel Studios, The Fantastic Four First Steps, Vanessa Kirby, plus Elizabeth McGovern.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Apple Valley News Now, the official television home of the Seattle Kraken. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. It's going to be a beautiful day for today. Lots of sunshine across the map, and high temperatures will end up in the low to mid 90s for a lower elevation, 70s up in the Cascades, and 70s and 80s in the Blues. Winds not going to be that big of a factor for today. After 2 p.m. could be a little bit breezy in the Kittitas Valley, the Morrow County foothills, and up in the Cascades, but other than that, winds not a factor. For tonight, clear skies. Overnight lows will be mild once again, with 60s for the valley, 60s for the basin, 60s for the foothills as well. 40s and 50s for the Cascades, and 50s and 60s in the Blues. For tomorrow, we're going to be a little bit hotter, actually a few degrees hotter than normal for this time of the year. Some of us in the basin could be within a stone's throw of 100 degrees, especially up towards the Hanford site. I think for the Tri-Cities, we're probably going to be shy of 100, and low to mid 90s for the most part are going to be a pretty safe bet for lower elevations, 70s in the Cascades and 70s and 80s in the Blues. Now for tomorrow, the wind gust's going to be much more noticeable. It could be a little bit breezy to start off the day, but after 2 p.m., that's when the winds are going to ramp up. In general, 25 to 40 mile per hour gusts, the windiest conditions in the Morrow County foothills and the Kittitas Valley, but we're keeping a very close eye on this Hermiston wind gust. Historically, when this gets closer to 35 to 40 miles per hour, and when we have critically dry vegetation, that's when fires could start or spread quickly. The vegetation will be critically dry, so we're going to be right there on the bubble. So it is to be determined if we're going to go with the first alert weather day for tomorrow. But the wind's picking up as temperatures go down. We're going to be a few degrees cooler than normal for Saturday and Sunday. Excellent weather for the water follies, but then we're going to start to heat things back up into the beginning of next week. And we'll keep the forecast dry up until the beginning of next week, as we'll have these little shower and thunderstorm chances for the mountains and for the Kittitas Valley, watching that lightning potential very closely, especially around this time of the year. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities, mid-90s through Friday, around 90 this weekend, then heating back up, trending hotter into next week. In Yakima, hot and dry over the next week, but thankfully a little bit cooler on Saturday and Sunday. In Ellensburg, winds picking up on Thursday and Friday. We'll watch the fire start potential closely, also keeping a close eye on a thunderstorm chance for early next week. In Hermiston, mid-90s over the next few days, low 90s this weekend, then the heat is back on next week. Finally, for Walla Walla, a hot and dry forecast over the next week with some breezy weather in the mix for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Looks pretty seasonal and looks like it should be a really good weekend for water follies as well.
Yeah, I think so. Not oppressive heat, plenty of sunshine, perfect river weather, to be honest.
This is great because I feel like Water Follies is always like 112, 100, you know.
Well, that's the thing. It's either
really, really hot.
It's either like 75 and windy. Or 100 bajillion.
The ones I've been here for, 100, yeah.
Yeah.
So
it was kind
of in the middle.
This is great,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, it was disappointing on the 4th of July, it being like 75 and windy and gray. I was out there on the river. This is going to be much more
You still went to the river on that day?
Well, I got an invite. I wasn't going to say no. Come on.
Fair enough.
All right, keep it here because coming up next, the godfather of metal, a reality TV dad, a voice that defined an entire generation. This morning, fans around the world are mourning the one and only Ozzy Osbourne, and we'll take a look at the legacy that he left behind coming up in your entertainment news after the break.
Allen Brecky Law Offices is a Tri-Cities-based regional law firm which emphasizes the rights of accident victims. If you've been injured, get a free consultation from the people who live and work right here in our community.
Why was 6 afraid of 7?
Because 7, 8, 9.
Good news! You still get to eat. Join us August 7th, 8th, and 9th at Moxie City Park for the Moxie Hop Festival. 3 magical days of awesome food, local vendors, a legendary 21+ beer garden, live music, kids games, the Saturday pancake breakfast, fun run, and of course, the famous parade at 10 a.m. Bring your friends and family to celebrate community pride all weekend long. It's not just fun, it's Moxie magic at this year's Moxie Hop Festival. Visit evcea.org.
Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks.
Right now, you can lease a tough new 2025 Tundra for just $509 a month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Vance Heating Air has been keeping Yakima homes cool since 1986. If your air conditioner needs service this summer, we'll take $86 off the cost of any AC repair. Don't leave it to chance. Call Vance.
Get ready to feast at Legends Casino Hotel's ultimate all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. Dive into fresh Dungeness crab, wild Columbia River salmon, juicy prime rib, and much more. Taste it all every Thursday starting at 4 p.m.
Have you heard about refractive lens exchange? K2 Vision RLE means no glasses, no contacts, and no readers permanently. And you'll never develop a cataract.
No glasses or readers. K2 Vision RLE.
Summer love for young and gold.
Paradise!
Bachelor in Paradise, new Mondays on ABC.
Sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health's Dermatology Center in Benton City. Look and feel your best with cosmetic dermatology services.
Allen Brecky Law Offices is a Tri-Cities-based regional law firm which emphasizes the rights of accident victims. If you've been injured, get a free consultation from the people who live and work right here in our community.
Hello there, watch live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back, 6:22, and it is with heavy hearts in your entertainment headlines that we say goodbye to a legend.
Mama, he's coming home. The heavy metal icon Ozzy Osbourne has passed away, and he was 76 years old.
On social media, the British rocker's family said he died Tuesday morning, surrounded by his loving family. A cause of death has not been revealed.
Osbourne launched his career as the frontman of the band that would become Black Sabbath in 1968, and then later went solo. He was famed for his outrageous antics on stage, including biting the head off of a bat. He did say he thought it was fake when he originally did it, not realizing it was a live bat. And then, of course, his struggle with substance abuse as well.
Some iconic moments, but Osbourne was respected by the rock establishment. He was known as the Prince of Darkness and the godfather of heavy metal.
Osbourne had a second career as a reality TV star with his family on the show The Osbournes in the 2000s.
Yeah, and then he revealed in 2020 that he had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
Osbourne's passing comes just weeks after he performed with Black Sabbath in England in what was billed as a farewell show, and that's also when Kelly Osbourne had gotten engaged.
Yeah, right after that last show. Oh. I know, we know his family's heartbreaking. They were a very close family. And
we saw it in that show.
I was going to say, when they did their reality TV show and then the things that they did after that, you could just tell
how close they were.
The bond that they
and just
all
over the
had.
years, like it never really went away.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. Well, we have a little bit of lighter entertainment news for you. Chips Ahoy is entering the Upside Down.
That's how they go into my milk, right?
What?
Well, the cookie company is teaming up with Stranger Things for a limited edition treat. The cookies feature a new chocolatey base, fudge chips, and a red strawberry flavored filling. Ooh.
Interesting. Well, this is the brand's first ever fruit flavored filling. As part of the collaboration, Chips Ahoy is also releasing retro inspired packs to make it look like you're back in the 1980s.
Ooh. Okay, the new cookies will be available nationwide. Mark your calendars starting August 11th, ahead of the Stranger Things 5th and final season, releasing later this fall.
This could be either really good or meh.
Yeah, I don't know.
It sounds really good, but like, you know,
and to me it
Chips
sounds
Ahoy,
meh.
Classic. You don't need to change
You don't
anything.
mess with
Chocolate
it.
chip cookie, you don't need to do anything to it.
To that point, used to, they had, it was called like Chips Ahoy dippers, and it was like these skinny Chips Ahoy, because the whole,
I think I remember that.
yeah, the whole thing was like, well, cookies are too wide for a glass of milk, which just isn't true, but let's make it skinnier. But when I was like 6 or 7, it just somehow tasted better when it was this little cookie stick as opposed to. Well, they're never bringing that back, so I just got to grieve that.
Maybe they will.
You never know. All right, still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. We've been talking water follies all week, and as we get closer to the big race weekend, troopers are going to be out in full force. Unmarked cars, aerial surveillance. The goal, keeping everyone safe as the crowds pour into Columbia Park. We'll let you know what drivers can expect as we make our way towards the weekend.
Plus, a Pasco teacher is getting statewide recognition, not just for what she teaches, but who she's helping along the way. We have more on how she's changing lives. It's all in your next half hour.
US Cellular makes it easy to switch. Get $1,000 off any phone with no trade-in.
We don't even have to trade in our teeth?
Nope.
I almost lost this one.
Get $1,000 off any phone with no trade-in, and we'll pay off your current contract when you switch. US Cellular, built for us.
Award-winning singer-songwriter Scotty McCreery, live in concert.
Drinking cabin solo in the cab.
Friday, August 15th, 8 p.m., Legends Casino Hotel. One of country's hottest stars, Scotty McCreery. On sale at Legends Gift Shop and Ticketmaster.com. New album, Rise and Fall. Available now. Scotty McCreery Live.
J.D. Power has ranked Nissan #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands. And to celebrate, you can now get in one of these award-winning SUVs with 0% APR for 60 months. The all-new turbocharged Nissan Murano, the rugged Nissan Pathfinder, and the best-selling Nissan Rogue. Visit Nissan today and drive away in an award-winning SUV.
Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the 2025 Nissan Rogue, Pathfinder, or Murano.
The fireworks don't stop on the 4th. McCurley Subaru's Red, White, and Vroom sales event is lighting up July with explosive savings. As the largest volume Subaru dealer in the area, we've got the inventory and the deals. For the first time in a while, get low financing, like 1.9% on the 2025 Outback and Crosstrek. Don't wait. Save today and keep the Red, White, and Vroom spirit alive all July long. Only at McCurley Subaru, your way home.
Find amazing deals store-wide during the anniversary sale at Furniture Row. We're celebrating, and that means the more you buy, the more you save. Take $100 off every $1,000 you spend when you liven up your living room, dazzle with an all-new dining room, embellish and beautify your bedroom, and supercharge your sleep life with a new mattress. And furnishing your home has never been easier with 48 months no-interest financing. That's right, no interest for 4 years. The anniversary sale, on now at Furniture Row.
Due to recent supply chain delays and clearance items stacking up in the warehouse, this week all Walker's Furniture locations are having an emergency inventory liquidation sale where you can save up to 70% on all floor models, discontinued styles, and clearance items.
New inventory is on the way, so we're clearing space and passing the savings on to you. Plus, special 5-year financing was brought in where you can save now and pay over time with no minimum purchase required.
During the inventory reduction sale this week at Walker's.
Right now, you can get 4 free phones plus 4 lines for $90 with no trade-in.
Are we having the wool pulled over our eyes here?
Nope. And you get the latest phones.
High five.
Get 4 phones plus 4 lines for $90, and we'll pay off your current contract when you switch. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
The 3-Degree Guarantee, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good Wednesday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, jackpot Josh, cash with Colbert. It's time for our 3-degree guarantee.
Yes.
How's it looking?
It went up yesterday, got the forecast correct. We like to see that back into the triple digits. Not in terms of temperatures, but in terms of the jackpot. We're up to $100 now. Yesterday went with forecast high of 89 in Pasco Tri-Cities. It verified right at 89. So yes, the jackpot did go up by $25. So for today, slightly hotter forecast high of 94 in Pasco Tri-Cities. So if it verifies between 91 to 97, the jackpot's going to hit $125. If that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page. You can scan the QR code that's on your screen. Now what's on your screen is a live look at a baseball diamond. This view coming courtesy of the Dust Devils in Pasco. Seeing just a little bit of light upper level haze in the skies for this morning, but we're not seeing any big time reductions to air quality. We're in the 50s and 60s this morning for the valleys and for the basin and for the foothills. 40s and 50s in both of our mountain ranges. So feeling pretty comfortable out there. Your hour-by-hour forecast for today for the Tri-Cities going to be around 80 as soon as 10 this morning, mid-80s around lunchtime. And then for the hottest part of the day, we're going to end up in the low to mid-90s for lower elevations. This is going to be pretty normal for late July. So I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast, and also I'll show you what vegetation dryness is looking like for today and tomorrow. Here's a hint, it's trending in the wrong direction. So all that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Hi, Josh. Thanks so much. Well, we begin this half hour of news talking about Washington State Patrol and how they are really going to start ramping up enforcement as we make our way towards Water Follies weekend.
And with thousands expected in the Tri-Cities, you can bet that major traffic will be around Columbia Park, so troopers will be watching closely for any dangerous driving.
Yeah, it includes impaired or distracted driving, speeding, not wearing a seatbelt. Troopers will be on motorcycles, they'll be in unmarked vehicles, and they'll also be in aircrafts day and night.
Road closures are planned for both Saturday and Sunday, and this is to help keep pedestrians safe and traffic moving. So drivers are reminded to plan ahead, and you can use Ben Franklin Transit's shuttle buses that they're offering. Looking at education news now, a Pasco School District teacher is being recognized statewide for her dedication to helping students navigate both school and being a parent. Apple Valley News Now's William Albert shows us the impact she's had, not just in the classroom, but in the lives of her students.
Jacqueline Brewster, a family and consumer sciences teacher at New Horizons High School, has been named the 2025 Grads Teacher of the Year by the Washington Association of Family and Consumer Sciences Educators.
New Horizons High School in Pasco, an alternative school, has been helping students across Pasco stay on track to graduate through the Grads program for several years now.
She's been leading the Grads program at New Horizons High School for 15 years, helping students who are pregnant or parenting stay focused on graduating, and while learning real-life skills along the way.
At New Horizons would be GRADS, which is Graduation Reality and Dual Role Skills. So those are students with children and then their own children, and prenatal, so that's during their pregnancy, and it can be the boys or the girls, and financial algebra, which is a third-year math, so it's more of an application, hands-on, real-life type of math. Clothing design and clothing construction, so basically designing clothes, and we actually have a sewing lab where they get to sew and make their creations.
This isn't Brewster's first time being honored. She also received the same award back in 2016, but she says this time it caught her completely off guard.
One of my coworkers that I will be teaching with alongside next year nominated me without me knowing, and so it was a complete surprise knowing that I had been nominated and won the award.
Brewster says the most rewarding part of her job is seeing students push through the tough times, and one student in particular stands out.
She found out this year that she was pregnant, and she decided she wanted to finish, and she had a long way to go, and she did it. She graduated. She goes, I hear you weren't going to be here next year, so she finished and graduated with the rest of the class.
Brewster says while students at alternative schools might take a different path, that doesn't mean they're any less determined.
They just didn't get there in the same amount of time as everybody else, but when they walk across that stage, nobody knows if they are finished in 4 years or 5 years or 6 years, except for maybe their family. Like it can happen at any time. If you want your diploma and you are willing to come and work for it, we're on a totally different timeline.
Jacqueline Brewster may be Teacher of the Year, but she says her focus remains the same, her students every single year. In Pasco, William Albert, Apple Valley News Now.
6:34 now, and looking at what's making a difference around the area. If you're looking to adopt a pet, now could be the perfect time.
And it could help ease that pressure on the local shelters.
Pet Overpopulation Prevention is teaming up with PetSmart in Kennewick for National Adoption Week, hoping to find homes for at least 50 pets.
The event runs through July 29th with adoptable cats and dogs available at the store on Canal Drive.
A recent grant from PetSmart Charities helped cover things like spay and neuter, vaccines, and microchips.
This PetSmart actually is in the top 5% of adoptions in the country. We, on average, usually adopt about 1,000 pets out of this location a year. Right now, we're a little bit behind. Seems like overall, as a country, we're struggling with adoptions.
Adoptable pets will be available at the Kennewick location from 11 to 3, and you may just meet your potential new best friend.
You never know.
Yeah, and speaking of new best friends, we have another one that you can meet, a specific one. And we know, reruns can be sometimes great. So if you want a returning character, we'll have another look at Bart, who is still looking for his forever family. Stick around because Operation Best Friend is next.
And giving you a live look outside this morning from our Dust Devils camera in Pasco. Beautiful blue skies to start your day. Will they stick around? Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will let us know what your forecast looks like. It's 6:36.
This newscast sponsored by Mariano Morales Law.
The Tri-Cities was made for summer, and summer in the Tri was made for Dust Devils baseball. Don't miss your chance to catch a ball game under a mid-Columbia sunset. Your Dust Devils return home July 29th through August 3rd, and tickets are on sale now. Come see what all the buzz is about. For tickets, head to the official site, dustdevilsbaseball.com. Dust Devils Baseball. It will blow you away.
Life. It's a crazy thing when you think about it. It's either about making memories or remembering those moments that matter most. Broadmoor RV has been serving families and its community in the Pacific Northwest for over 20 years. From travel trailers to toy haulers, truck campers, motorhomes, and fifth wheels, we have what you need to start creating memories with the ones you love. So get out there and make those memories last a lifetime. Broadmoor RV. We make camping fun.
Prepare yourselves for one of the greatest Motown and R&B artists of all time. The Commodores are coming to the Tri-Cities July 26th. With 75 million albums sold, this legendary group will bring the funk to the Hapo Center with favorites like Brick House, Night Shift, and many more. Go to CommodoresLive.com and get your tickets now. Don't miss this opportunity to see the legendary Commodores live.
Hi, I'm David Smith.
And I'm Tori Smith, local owners of Mattress Depot USA.
We both grew up in the Seattle area.
But unlike our large competitors, we still live in this community.
We do business with local manufacturers from right here in the Pacific Northwest.
Hey, we realize that your top priority is to get a quality mattress at the best possible price. And that's what we do.
And it never hurts to do business with someone local.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Do you keep up with the trends or set your own?
Is the color dense enough?
Add more pigment. Launch on social.
We've got to take this global.
All right, so where do we go from here?
You've got to test it, perfect it, expand it. Never rest until it's right.
Introducing the business card that gives back all you put in. The new Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business.
Austin Reed is a television news leader with a passion for unique stories that have affected positive change for more than 20 years.
Get the best local news coverage every day, right here.
Wendy Redmond, Austin Reed, Stacey Lee, Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
Next live.
Famous around the world.
From Marvel Studios, The Fantastic Four First Steps, Vanessa Kirby, plus Elizabeth McGovern.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. We'll have normal high temperatures across the map and plenty of sunshine. We'll be a little bit breezy today in the Cascades and the Kittitas Valley. Those peak gusts between 15 to 25 miles per hour. Then in the Yakima Valley, light winds here. High is going to be in the mid-90s. Then for the lower Columbia Basin, also mid-90s, a little bit breezy up towards Connell and Odello. Some of those gusts between 15 to 20 miles per hour. But for the Tri-Cities, for Hermiston, it should be light winds. Then for the Morrow County foothills, also maybe some gusts around 20 miles per hour. The rest of the foothills should have light winds. We're going to be in the 80s and 90s for the foothills and 70s and 80s for the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. Okay, here's today's vegetation dryness forecast. Remember that all of these levels have been adjusted for typical dryness per microclimate. Remember, yesterday we saw a lot of yellows on this map. Medium dryness in July isn't too bad, but for today, that has trended back up to elevated levels of vegetation dryness for lower elevations. The blues, it's going to be critically dry in the Cascades and upper Yakima Basin. Now for tomorrow, the critically dry vegetation now encompasses the Kittitas Valley, the Yakima Valley, the lower Columbia Basin, and the Blue Foothills. Factor in some of the wind gusts, and fire weather could be a little bit dicey. I'll show you some of the metrics behind that, specifically the wind gusts for tomorrow, coming up in a few minutes.
All right, that music can only mean one thing. It's time for another edition of Operation Best Friend. And this week, we're catching up with the familiar face who's made a lot of progress.
Yeah, we're talking about Bart. Bart's a 3-year-old black-mouthed cur mix, and while he may be missing a leg, he's got more energy than most 4-legged dogs.
Yep, after surgery, training, and a whole lot of love, he's now looking for his perfect person or even a foster family to continue his journey.
So let's catch up with Bart.
Operation Best Friend, sponsored by As You Wish Houses, Christine Connolly Realtor, and by Manthite Group Cross Country Mortgage.
Hello, Operation Best Friend fans. This is Mikey's Chance Canine Rescue, and we would like to reintroduce you to Bart. Bart is a 3-year-old black-mouthed cur mix, or at least as best as we can identify, we think that's what he is. But Bart is an extra special dog because he's a tripod. He was in an accident when he was young, and he was surrendered by his family because they couldn't pay for the amputation. So Mikey's Chance took him over, got him all cleared medically, but he did lose one of his rear legs. But you wouldn't know it. He acts like a 4-legged dog. He runs, he hikes, he loves to play, and so there are no issues whatsoever. Last time we had him here, he had a couple little behavioral problems that needed to be worked on. And we brought him up to Maddox Dog Academy, and they did wonders with him. He's now leash trained, gets along well with other dogs, still not so much for cats, but he is really ready to be your forever best friend. He's crate trained, he's potty trained, he loves car rides, he loves snuggling, he loves stuffies, as in stuffed animals, and he is just a joy to be with. Right now, because he is up at the training academy, we are looking for, obviously, a forever home, but he could also use a foster to continue to work with him and make him the best dog ever. So if you're looking for your best friend, put in an application for Bart. You won't be sorry.
I just love their little photo shoots afterwards.
I know, it's just like perfect every single time.
Yeah.
My dog never looks at the camera.
I'm trying to take a picture, you know. She looks elsewhere.
Nice side profile, though.
Yeah.
We always get the pleasure of meeting these dogs, typically, and Bart did have a lot of energy, like she said, so please make him part of your family.
Yeah. All right, still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Your morning sprint, everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning, and giving you a live look outside from our cameras here at the Apple Valley Studios in Kennewick. It is a beautiful start to your day at 6:43. What will the rest of the week and Water Valley's weekend look like? Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert will be back with your full First Alert forecast.
J.D. Power has ranked Nissan #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands. Get 0% APR for 60 months on the Nissan Pathfinder, Nissan Murano, and Nissan Rogue.
Now get 0% APR for 60 months on select popular models.
Something big is coming to Wild Horse Resort and Casino. He's elusive, he's famous, and there's a $120,000 Bigfoot bounty out for him this July and August. Spin the prize wheel for cash, free play, or the Bigfoot Bounty Progressive that increases each spin until it's won every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then on July 26th, one of 3 lucky Bigfoot trackers takes home $15,000 in cash. Come catch Bigfoot. Wild Horse Resort and Casino, celebrating 3 decades of fun.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
My name is Lauren Martin. I started to work out at Hanford in 1982, and for 20 years I worked with the fleet, repairing cranes, locomotives, cars, ambulances, fire trucks, everything. After 20 years, then I came down with a disease. There are some very, very expensive drugs, and my copay on that is 0. All I have to do is pick up the phone and it's there.
So we'll definitely evaluate their past employment. As a registered nurse myself, I'll look through their medical records and I'll look to see maybe what medical conditions they have, and we'll be very upfront with them, honest about whether they do have a claim that could warrant benefits or not, and just kind of let them know what those next steps are, the timeline of how long it could take for them to get approved.
Before, our service would be in and out. We wanted to switch to T-Mobile to make sure that we have better coverage.
T-Mobile is now the best network, and with the most satellites, we're connecting hundreds of thousands in places where cell towers can't reach with T-Satellite.
I signed up for T-Satellite and give me peace of mind as a mom that makes life better knowing that it's there when we need it.
Upgrade to the best network. Right now, T-Mobile will pay off 4 phones up to $3,200. Plus, hook you up with 4 new phones on us. Switch today.
System 1 loaded.
J.D. Power has ranked Nissan #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands. Get 0% APR for 60 months on the Nissan Pathfinder, Nissan Murano, and Nissan Rogue.
Now get 0% APR for 60 months on select popular models.
Apple Valley News Now, the official television home of the Seattle Kraken. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. It is going to be a gorgeous day across the map for today. Very few clouds and high temperatures going to be normal for this time of the year. So low 90s for the valleys, mid 90s for the basin, low 90s in the foothills, 70s in the Cascades, 70s and 80s in the Blues. Wind's going to be mostly light for most spots, but after 2 p.m. could be a little bit breezy in the Kittitas Valley, the Morrow County foothills, and up into the Cascades. For tonight, clear skies. Overnight lows will be mild, so down into the 60s for lower elevations, 40s and 50s in the Cascades, and 50s and 60s in the Blues. For tomorrow, a little bit hotter. At this point, a few degrees hotter than normal for this time of the year. Still low 90s in the Kittitas Valley, but mid 90s in the Yakima Valley, mid 90s in the foothills, and mid to upper 90s for the basin. In fact, pretty close to 100 degrees up towards the Hanford site, 70s in the Cascades, 70s and 80s in the Blues. Wind's going to be much more noticeable, much more of a factor for tomorrow. They could gust anywhere between 20 to 40 miles per hour across the map. The windiest location is going to be the Morrow County foothills and the Kittitas Valley. Keep in mind it could be a little bit breezy to start off the day, but after 2 p.m. that's when they're going to ramp up. And typically, kind of our litmus test for first alert weather days around this time of the year is if there's critically dry vegetation for lower elevations and if the wind gusts are closer to 35 or 40 miles per hour for Hermiston. So those are some of the variables and the factors we look at. We're going to be very close to that threshold, so to be determined for first alert weather day for tomorrow. Now the winds picking up as high temperatures go down will actually be a little bit cooler than normal for Saturday and Sunday. Excellent weather for the water follies, but then heating it back up into Monday and Tuesday of next week. That's around the same time that we'll have these little shower and thunderstorm chances for the mountains and for the Kittitas Valley, watching that lightning potential very closely. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities, mid-90s through Friday, around 90 this weekend, then heating back up next week. In Yakima, hot and dry over the next week, but thankfully a little bit cooler on Saturday and Sunday. In Ellensburg, winds picking up on Thursday and Friday. We'll watch the fire start potential closely, also keeping a close eye on a thunderstorm chance for early next week. In Hermiston, mid-90s over the next few days, low 90s this weekend, then the heat is back on next week. Finally, for Walla Walla, a hot and dry forecast over the next week with some breezy weather in the mix for Thursday through Saturday. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, could focusing too much on sleep trackers actually be keeping you up at night?
I was kind of like stressed about it. It's just like I felt like it was like too much data.
For 29-year-old Nancy Chen, a marketing manager who moonlights as a boxing instructor, the device became a problem of its own.
I think it was this cycle of I knew that my sleep score was going to be bad.
For people like Nancy, the constant monitoring led to a condition known as orthosomnia.
Orthosomnia refers to individuals for whom tracking may have become or is potentially stressful, and then it causes them to struggle the next night.
And the harder they try to control their sleep, the worse it gets. And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more on orthosomnia and the expert tips you need to get a good night's sleep. With your GMA First Look, I'm Dr. Tara Narula, ABC News, New York.
Touch can mean so many things, even for children with moderate to severe eczema. Touch can make a little one feel like a giant, can bring sparkle to a teenager, or be the unspoken language between best buddies. Dupixent can help your child stay ahead of eczema with clearer skin and noticeably less itch as they welcome the feeling of touch. Dupixent helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema to help heal your child's skin from within. Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor of new or worsening eye problems like eye pain or vision changes, skin symptoms, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop other treatments without talking to your doctor. Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists. Help your child feel the heal and see the difference. Reach out to your child's eczema specialist today.
Time is 6:52. It's time for your morning sprint, and we want to start with your national headlines. SpaceX has officially launched the Falcon 9, putting 2 communication satellites into orbit. The rocket took off in Florida yesterday after Monday's attempt was canceled just seconds before liftoff. The company says the rocket successfully landed on a ship in the Atlantic after launching those satellites.
And in your business headlines at 6:52, your next sweet treat could cost you a little more. The Hershey Company is raising prices due to an increase in cocoa costs. According to a company spokesperson, the increase will be a percentage in the lower double-digit range. Hershey says that 75% of its products are available for under $4, and they will work to continue to keep it that way. And in your sports headlines this morning, Los Angeles Dodgers superstar Shohei Ohtani is hoping for another big hit, this time off the mound. The three-time MVP is co-writing a children's book about his dog named Decoy.
Aww.
Ohtani posted a teaser on his Instagram, a photo of Decoy sitting next to the fiction book. It's titled Decoy Saves Opening Day. It goes on sale early next year. The book will support nonprofits helping to rehome stray and abandoned dogs. 6:53 in your morning sprint now. Look at your top 5 local things you need to know. Yakima police investigating a deadly shooting at Miller Park. A 35-year-old man was found with a gunshot wound last night and later died from his injuries. Detectives are now asking for anyone with information to come forward. You can even leave an anonymous tip with Crime Stoppers.
And in Richland, new security cameras are coming to the Uptown Shopping Center and 2 local parks. The city hopes this will help curb theft, dumping, and street racing. Also, footage will be stored for 30 days, and it can even be requested by the public.
And Washington State Patrol boosting enforcement this Water Follies weekend. Troopers are going to be on motorcycles, unmarked cars, even in the air, and they're going to be cracking down on speeders, DUIs, distracted driving, and seatbelt violations. Expect slowdowns, especially near Columbia Park in Kennewick, with road closures also planned on State Route 240 during peak times. And the Blue Bridge always gets pretty backed up as well.
Yes, it does. Keep that in mind. And in Pasco, school teacher Jacqueline Brewster is being honored as the 2025 Grads Teacher of the Year. She spent 15 years helping students that are pregnant and parenting stay on track at New Horizons High School. And she'll continue that work when she transfers to Sageview High School this fall.
And if you're looking for a furry friend, Pet Overpopulation Prevention is teaming up with Kennewick's PetSmart for National Adoption Week. Now through July 29th, you can meet adoptable cats and dogs from 11 to 3 daily. Adoption fees include spay and neuter, vaccines, microchips, and it's all thanks to a grant from PetSmart Charities. 6:54 trending this morning. A train rider in Chicago got a little more than they bargained for when they found a real-life Slytherin stowaway. A ball python named, is it Lucius?
Lucius, yeah. So yes, like Lucius Malfoy from Harry Potter, the snake was spotted coiled inside a control panel on a CTA train on Saturday.
Nope.
Turns out Lucius had slithered away from his owner, who, by the way, was dressed like a pirate.
Okay, so there is an answer to one of my questions.
I was like, yeah, why is the pirate there? Okay, but now we know.
Shouldn't they have like a parrot instead of a snake?
Yeah, not this pirate. Not in Chicago.
Yikes. So fire crews were called. They safely rescued the snake and returned him to his very colorful owner.
Yeah, he looks like a Jack Sparrow impersonator. Okay, well, no magic wands involved, but just a wild commute and a happy reunion. I have so many more questions about the pirate now. Not the snake, the pirate.
I have questions about both.
Yeah, honestly, both. Why is it in there?
Yeah, let's just start with why is it there?
Yeah.
So we're going to start there. Second, as a snake owner, how do you let your snake get away?
Yeah.
How does your snake end up in an electrical panel on a train? There's the $1 million question.
Yeah, was it not contained?
Yeah, were you just willy-nilly, like Britney Spears ended out there with the snake? Or like, what were you doing?
Chicago Jack Sparrow, I guess so.
I will say, in terms of snakes that could have gotten loose, that's not a bad one. They're not venomous. I've had a Burmese python on me before. He was a chill guy, so his relative.
Is that the yellow one? That's the one the Britney Spears one, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they're sweet if they're not strangling you.
Well, this sounds, we have snakes on a plane, so we need a Snakes on a Train movie with the main character being Jack Sparrow. Casting that guy.
Maybe that's what he was going to audition for.
I think so, yeah. He's cosplaying, it's fine.
I can't.
I don't know about this, yeah.
I can't with this, okay.
Let's move on and transition to weather because it's
Slither on over to weather, right? There we go. Okay. We are in the 50s and 60s right now for lower elevations, 50s in the Cascades, 50s and 60s in the Blues. It's feeling pretty good out there. A little bit later today, normal high temperatures for late July. So low to mid 90s for our lower elevations, going to be around 95 in the Tri-Cities. Bottom line for the forecast, seasonal for today, tomorrow, and Friday. Cooler for this weekend, so excellent weather for the Water Follies. But heating back up next week, tracking little shower and thunderstorm chances for the mountains and valleys for the beginning of next week as well.
Keep that in mind and don't let your snake get away on a train into a coil.
Don't take your snake on a train.
Yeah. Thank you for watching Good Morning Northwest. Find more at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
Good Morning America's up next. We'll of course be back tonight with your local news and weather at 5.
Have a great day.